Hello.
Hi, everybody. In the last segment, Ray had described the disfellowshipping of Sue Phillips and Sue Walker's offering her letter of disassociation. Now the consequences for the entire Walker family in Dancy, Mississippi. Ray starts, "This is all the more remarkable in that Sue Walker continued to help her aged mother cross the road to the Kingdom Hall whenever she expressed the wish, quietly sitting through meetings with her mother, though her presence was not acknowledged by any in attendance, doing this entirely out of the consideration for her mother's remaining as a witness. When her mother's health eventually caused her to give up meeting attendance, she rarely received any visits from congregation members due to their reticence to being brought into contact with the disassociated daughter. Her mother's opinion of the organization changed, and when her husband, never a witness, died, she joined with her daughters in asking me to travel there to conduct the funeral. Before she herself died, she expressed the wish that I conduct her funeral as well. In a small rural community where everyone knows everyone else, the 100 or so persons who came to the funeral could not help but notice that, although their neighbor, Mrs. Walker, was not disfellowshipped, nor had ever disassociated herself, none of the witnesses with whom she had worshipped for more than 40 years were in attendance. Organizational policy, not personal sentiments, kept them away."
What followed Sue Walker's disassociation announcement is, if anything, even more revealing of the organizational spirit fostered. Some months earlier, her older sister, Lulu, and her husband, parents of Sue Phillips, had moved from the Dancy area to Mississippi Gulf Coast area. Because of having arrived at conscientious conclusions about the organization and being fully aware of the probable consequences of this, they purposely did not advise the Manti elders of their future address, and on arrival at their new location in Long Beach, purposely sought to remain incognito as regards the congregation there. They hoped thus to withdraw quietly, avoiding confrontational interrogation and the unpleasantness of judicial proceedings.
They were thus surprised when, not long after the Manti congregation disfellowshipped their daughter, 2 elders from the Long Beach, Mississippi congregation, complete strangers to them personally, unexpectedly showed up at their door unannounced. How these men knew of them can only be surmised, but the elders' statements made clear that it was a follow-up on the judicial action taken hundreds of miles away with regard to their daughter. The elders' shepherding efforts consisted of questioning Ray and Lulu Phillips as to their beliefs, asking if they felt the same as their daughter did. They replied in the affirmative. Within days came a notice to attend a judicial hearing. They had no wish to undergo that experience and said so. They, too, were disfellowshipped.
One wonders what possible way there is for anyone to leave quietly, as society representatives, including Robert Balzer of Brooklyn headquarters, argue they should. The claim that such pursuit by elders is necessary to keep the organization clean seems especially hollow in view of the fact that this couple, in their late 60s, were endeavoring to live quietly and unnoticed, with no connection with any congregation when the action was taken. One of Mrs. Walker's 3 witness daughters now remained, Lavenia, Lavenia, a very mild-mannered person, then living in the New Orleans, Louisiana area. When first moving there, Lavenia had attended a few meetings at the local Kingdom Hall, but like her sister Lulu, had decided to withdraw quietly. During the same time her sister in Mississippi was being investigated, she received a visit from a local elder, accompanied by a visiting circuit overseer, coming to inquire about her lack of meeting attendance. She explained why she was not attending.
No one can question the propriety of these men showing interest in her, or, believing as they did that her spiritual welfare was at risk, they're endeavoring to encourage her to attend the meetings. That interest is certainly understandable, even commendable. What they actually did, however, is puzzling indeed. On hearing her explanation as to why she was not attending, the circuit overseer wrote out a short statement and said that if she did not plan to attend anymore, as the wording of the statement read, she could simply sign it. She did. The result? She was now considered officially disassociated, to be viewed the same as if she had committed some act calling for excommunication, no longer to be talked to or associated with. The shepherding efforts, portrayed in Watchtower publications as extended loving efforts at readjusting and recovering strayed sheep, had taken at most 1 hour. Yet Lavenia had been associated for some 30 years. In all the time of witness association of these 5 family members, let me read that again with proper emphasis. In all, the time of witness association of these 5 family members totaled some 200 years. The time spent by witness elders in supposed efforts to restore them to the flock amounted at most to a total of 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah. So when you take into consideration how long it takes to make a witness, 10,000 years now. Oh, 10,000 years. It should be.
It's about 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours. Then you think about how short a time it takes to execute them, get rid of them. And we had the same experience. We had 2 short visits, one of which was only about 5 minutes to tell us we were disfellowshipped, because we didn't go to a meeting, and 1 phone call. But altogether, I think it maybe was an hour.
Yeah. There was really no effort, and we've heard other stories since that confirm it. Our surprise was there was really no effort to restore us. Certainly not to deal with the issues, and the Phillips and Walker situations here are exactly the same. They're not really concerned with the sheep.
Yeah.
They're concerned with the collective, the sheep, plural, but not with the individual sheep.
Yeah. They can sacrifice the one. They don't,
Yeah.
they don't extend the help.
Surveillance and use of an informer system. That's the next subhead. Based on the text Micah 7 verse 5, which leads off his discussion. Put no trust in a friend. Have no confidence in a loved one. Guard the doors of your mouth from her who lies in your embrace. So next time, surveillance and use of an informer system.